भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Sairam. Just to level set what we were studying the last week, we are still on the fourth chapter according to a few commentaries of Narada Bhakti Sutra. It's Prema Nirvachanam, which is an exposition of love itself, which is nothing but devotion. The sutras which we covered last week talked about how easy it is, how devotion is so easy compared to any other sadhana, and also that it is all based on one's own experience and not the experience from others or externally seen. So those were the two which we looked at. I think we looked at three of them last week. So we will continue from where we left off. So this is the 60th sutra in the Narada Bhakti Sutras. In the fourth chapter of fourth categorization, it's the 10th sutra. Shanti Rupat Paramananda Rupat Shanti Rupat Paramananda Rupat Shanti Rupat Paramananda Rupat. In terms of pronunciation, there are no aspirated consonants in this sutra. So it should be rather simple. The words are also very simple. So we'll look at the sandhi split. There's only one sandhi related change in the sutra. The word Shanti Rupat is as is. The second word Paramananda Rupacha is made up of two words, Paramananda Rupat cha. The ut at the end of Paramananda Rupat becomes ich because it is followed by cha. So it becomes Paramananda Rupat cha. Okay. So let's look at the meaning. So let's look at the meaning. Shanti Rupat. Shanti, I think all of you know, it's peace. Rupa is the form. So Shanti Rupa is one whose form, who's an embodiment of peace. But it also can say devotion itself has the form of peace. Shanti Rupa. Shanti Rupat means it's a fifth vibhakti or the fifth noun form, which gives a meaning from or due to in this context. Okay. So, due to the form of peace of devotion, or okay. So, what is Sulabha, the Anubhava, Swabha, one's own experience? All this is achieved from devotion because it is a form of Shanti. It's because once one contracts devotion, one attains peace because it is devotion itself is nothing but peace. And so because once we are peaceful, once we are relaxed, anything in this world is easy to achieve. So that is why, so it is, devotion is Shanti Rupa. So because of that, everything is easy. One can easily attain one's experience also, because only when we have peace in mind, we will be able to experience divinity also. So that comes through in this. And the next word is Paramanda Rupa. So it's the same thing. Parama means supreme. Ananda is bliss. Rupa is form. So because it is also the form of supreme bliss. That is, devotion is also the form of supreme bliss. So these two ingredients of peace and bliss are essential for one to have the divine experience within oneself. And then everything in this world is easy. Sulabha. So this basically complements the previous two verses by describing the quality of love. So love is nothing but peace. Love is nothing but bliss. So these are the two definitions in this sutra. We will read an excerpt from, I think one or two excerpts I have from Swami's discourses and Vahinis. And the first one is from Prashanti Vahini, chapter 1. So it's one of the Vahinis Swami wrote in the late 60s and early 70s, I would say. One of the good, nice Vahinis for us to read. It talks about the value of peace. And the 5 human values, this talks about this Vahini talks about the value of peace. So this is the first chapter, so let's read. Readers, may this dream of divine love put down the burning fires of disquiet, ignorance, injustice, and irreligion that is consuming you. And may it slake your thirst. May it shower peace, joy, and happiness on you. Many people are not aware of even the meaning of the phrase Supreme Peace Prashanti. It is the backbone of an individual, and for the spiritual aspirant sadhaka, the very breath. The word is taken by each to mean something different. Many feel they have peace when some worldly desire that was vexing them is satisfied. But that's not real peace. It's only a temporary, short-lived interval between one worry and another. The syllable pra in Prashanti means expanding, enlarging, vikasa. So Prashanti means that type of peace, Shanti. That is to say, the absence of desire, anger, greed, and hatred. As you can see, Swami is starting the Prashanti Vahini with the word divine love, prema. So he has said, love is nothing but peace. Now by starting that, okay. So we will continue. Supreme peace means success in the elimination of the qualities grouped under desire and anger, kama and krodha. This process of elimination, called developing equanimity, sama, is very essential for all. The spiritual aspirant must be constantly engaged in practicing it. What does the aspirant strive for? Fulfillment, is it not? In other words, the aspirant strives for peace. Now, this peace is the innate nature of humanity. It is the force that comes to the aid of those who try to develop discrimination, viveka, renunciation or detachment, vairagya, and keenness of intellect, vichakshana. It is but a phase of the Atma itself. Just like the Atma, it has no beginning or end. No blemish can mar it. It is equalled only by itself. It cannot be compared with any other. Peace must be manifested in feeling, word, posture, and deed. Manas, vak, kaya, karma. In the same manner, in the same uniform, equal measure. Then peace, shanti, becomes the real peace, prashanti. Bereft of such peace, one cannot hope to get either worldly, otherworldly, or transworldly bliss. Peace is the nursery of all happiness and all joy. Tyagaraja knew this, for he sang, "No peace, no happiness." All men need it, whoever they are, be they self-restrained men or Vedantins, ascetics or scholars, pious men or philosophers. But people are unable to stand still even for a moment. Absence of mere anger cannot be taken as peace. The winning of a desired object and the satisfaction one then gets should not be confused with peace. The peace that has pervaded the heart must not be shaken subsequently for any reason. Only that type of peace, shanti, deserves to be called supreme peace. Supreme peace has no ups and downs. It cannot be partial in adversity and complete in prosperity. It cannot be one thing today and another tomorrow, always maintaining the same even flow of bliss, ananda, that is supreme peace. The stream of supreme peace, Prashanti Vahini, tells you what supreme peace is and makes you understand how to earn it, how it can be utilized, and what its attributes are. Every single aspirant has the legitimate right to earn this supreme peace, but must learn the path by which it can be earned. So as you can see, Swami has made the statement, always maintaining the same even flow of bliss. That is supreme peace. So as you can, Paramananda Rupat and Shanti Rupat. So both have been addressed as interrelated in Prashanti Vahini, chapter 1. And of course, we can quote from the rest of the Vahini. It basically elaborates what this sutra means. Okay, so with that, we will go to the next sutra. Lokahanau Chintana Karya Niveditatma Loka Vedatvat. Lokahanau Chinta na Karya Niveditatma Loka Vedatvat. Lokahanau Chinta na Karya Niveditatma Loka Vedatvat. Let's look at any aspiratory content. There are none here, so it should be rather simple for anyone to read without any mistake. We'll look at the sandhi related changes. Actually, there are no major sandhi related changes in this sutra, but I have hyphenated some words because many of the words are samasas. That means a compound word. So I've just separated each word so that it's easy for you to read also and also to understand the meaning better. We'll read that. Loka Anav. So there are two words. Chinta na karya nivedita atma loka vedatvat. Nivedita atma means niveditatma. Okay. Niveditatma loka vedatvat. So it's, if you can practice like that, you can read it. We'll look at the meaning. The first word is loka hanav. So the first word is loka. Within that, there are two words, distinct words. One is loka, which is world. Hanav is the second part, which actually the simple noun is hani. Loka hani is the simple noun. But hanav, the ending now, is the seventh vibhakti or the seventh noun form of the word. What it means is in the loss of the word or an or so on. It's something which relates to hani, loka hani. So hani is loss. You can even say sometimes, death also. Complete loss is hani. Hani gets used in multiple words, but in this case, we'll say in the loss of the world. That is, if one loses the entire world, in that experience, okay, in that experience of losing the entire world, loka hanav, chinta na karya. Chinta means worry. Okay, chinta is worry. Na karya. Na means not. Karya means anything that is fit to be done is karya. Karya means anything that is fit, worthy of being done is karya. Na karya means it's not fit to be done. What is not fit to be done? Worry. So at no point is worry a good thing to be done, even in the loss of the world. Lokahanav chinta na karya. Okay. Then the next line is a compound word of four words, made of four distinct words. I will just start with the end. Vedatvat. The tvat actually gives the fifth noun form, which again means, I think we have already looked at it, which means from, due. Due to this quality. What is this quality or from this quality? What is that quality? Nivedita. Nivedita means offering, dedicating something, offering at the feet of the Lord. Nivedita. Atma means self, one's own self. Loka, the world. Veda, knowledge. You can say Vedas also. So, in this devotion is something where you offer everything. Your knowledge also is offered to the Lord. Your self is also offered to the Lord. The entire world is also offered to the Lord. Once it's all offered and dedicated to the Lord, worry is not the thing, but it's proper for such a person. If one is a devotee and one who has offered everything to the Lord, even if the entire world is lost, one should not worry. That is the meaning of this. So what it says, a devotee son who has offered everything and there's no need for the person to worry. So that is the nature of devotion. If we have devotion, then that's the quality we should have. Because if that devotion which we have has that quality. So this is the meaning of this sutra. We will read some excerpts of Swami's. Yes, sister.
Saram brother, can you go with a little more explanation from due to the dedication, offering the self? I understand. World, what do you know, how you tangle with the world you. What is the Vedas there?
So we should understand, even the knowledge of Veda, actually the knowledge of Veda allows us to lead a good life. Okay. But whatever good life or even the knowledge shall be, anything which comes out of that knowledge should be offered at the feet of the Lord. So, for example, if you want to learn Veda, maybe I can set up shop and earn some money. Okay, earn money, fame, name. People can use these also. But a person who has learned Veda will just offer it to the Lord, whatever that person does. So in life, so you have money. Let's take money. Knowledge is also a kind of wealth. If you have money, you can use it to buy something for one's own self, one's own pleasure. But what one should offer it to the Lord. So it's the same thing. Veda considers any form of knowledge. Vedas means we should not think, okay, or which Vedam you're chanting. That's only a portion because the Vedas are unlimited. So any form of knowledge is Veda. The Veda is the supreme knowledge. That I am the Atman is the ultimate knowledge. Even that also should be offered to the Lord. Okay, it should help one dedicate everything to the world. So that is what it is. One can even say that person even gives up the Veda and holds onto the feet. So people sometimes attribute like that, but it's not that. Whatever we have, whatever we will earn, it should be for dedicating to the Lord.
Thank you.
Okay, why we can even say, I've learned the Vedam. Okay, now I want to chant in the front. We can sit anywhere, chant and offer it to the Lord. Because Swami, because in one discourse during one Dashara, Swami is telling Purnahuti is going on in the yajna which is being conducted in Prashanta Nilayam. Swami is saying, many of you who are in the audience want to come and offer something in this fire. And you are sometimes upset that you are unable to come and offer. Maybe you are unable to come here and chant, here and be part next to the fire. But wherever you are, offer it to the Lord. That understanding is the most important. Knowing that the Lord is everywhere, I offer whatever I know as an offering to the Lord. So any form of knowledge, any form of wealth is also covered. Any skill one has also is offered. Everything should be offered in service to the Lord, if you want to put it that way. I think that's my understanding. So I will stop.
Thank you.
So we will read, I think when we read Swami's excerpts, it should become more clearer. We will read. Saira. Dear students, dedicate your love only to God. There are people in the world who dedicated their love for different purposes. For example, for acquiring education, for acquiring proficiency in various arts, sports, and games, for the sake of certain individuals, etc. Could they attain divinity? No. You must realize the truth that it is only by constant contemplation of God with single-minded devotion that one can attain divinity. Therefore, dear students, realize the truth that God cannot be attained by any other science except the science of love. God gives himself to love easily. Hence, attain divinity through love. There's no force greater than love in this world. Everything in this world is worry. To be born is a worry. To be on earth is a worry. World is the cause of worry and death too. Entire childhood is a worry and so is the old age. Life is a worry. Failure is a worry. All actions and difficulties cause worry. Even happiness too is a mysterious worry. So this is Padyam Swami often recites a poem. If you are able to win the grace of God, all your worries will be removed. You must pursue worldly education. Nothing wrong in that. But you must be prepared to sacrifice your life even for attaining divine love, which is permanent, changeless, and eternal. Several great and noble souls have traveled throughout the world and strove to uplift the world by their sacred teachings. What would have been the fate of the country of Bharat if such great souls were not born? Every individual shall, therefore, strive to emulate the ideals of such great souls and endless. Whatever they say must be taken as an authority of the scriptures. You may perhaps think that you are able to speak eloquently in English and therefore feel proud that you know everything. Pride and arrogance are most reprehensible qualities. They land you in abysmal depths. It is only by the quality of love does a human being becomes great. Dear students, therefore cultivate love and strive to attain the grace of God and sanctify your lives by humility, devotion, and faith in God. Love is the sole refuge for a human being which will take him to God. Several elders have reached their goal only through love. You follow their example. Never lose your wealth of love. Make love your primary objective in your life. Love may appear to be a very simple thing to you, but there's no force greater than love. Love is God. God is love. Therefore, live in love. That is what you have to learn. So this is a discourse Swami gave on the 15th of September 2004. I have another excerpt from another discourse. We'll read that as well. Lord Krishna declared in the Bhagavad Gita, perform all your actions as an offering to me and take refuge in me alone. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Krishna said, offer everything to me. I will look after you. What does this really convey? Man is bogged down by all sorts of worries in this world. To be born is worry, to be on earth is a worry, the world is a cause of worry, and death too. Entire childhood is a worry, so is the old age. Life is a worry, failure is a worry. All actions and difficulties cause worry. Even happiness is a mysterious worry. So it's the same poem which Swami said in the previous excerpt. We'll continue. Life itself is a big burden of worries. How can you lead your life carrying this burden of so many worries on your head? What can you achieve when you are enmeshed in so many worries? How can you tread the right path in your life? However, these worries are not permanent. One worry will go away, giving place to another worry in a moment. Therefore, do not bother much about these worries. What is the shape of worry? It is mentally created fear only. By nature, the mind is fickle. How can worries, which are the creation of this fickle mind, be permanent? Each worry is like a naya paisa. 1 rupee is equal to 100 naya paisa. And 100 rupees are equal to 10,000 naya paisa. When you make a bundle of 10,000 naya paisa, it is quite heavy and not easy to carry. Therefore, the Lord says, give me those 10,000 naya paisa and I will give you a 100 rupee note, which is very light, is easy to carry and can safely be preserved. It is rather difficult to safeguard the big bundle of 10,000 naya paisa. It is all the more difficult to carry it and protect it from others. Hence, the Lord exhorts one, my dear, surrender to me the bundle of your worries. Therefore, pass on this burden to the Lord. God teaches this truth in a subtle way. You may ask, if you leave everything to the Lord, what about your duties? Each has their own duties. Each has to earn money, look after their spouse and children, etc. Suppose you are performing the role of a father in a drama. In the drama, you have a son who is afflicted with some disease. You are worried that your son is sick, but truly speaking, you are not his father and he is not your son. He is not suffering from a disease and you don't actually cry. All this is only acting in a drama. Even while crying in the drama, you are very well aware that your name is so and you are studying in such and such class. Even while expressing your anxiety about your son's illness, you are very well aware that he is not your son but a boy from another class. On the stage, you must do correct acting. Even while playing your role to perfection, you don't forget your actual name. For instance, Nagaya plays the role of Tyagaya. He sings, "O Rama, where am I to search for you?" Just like Tyagaya. But in reality, he is aware that he is only Nagaya and not Tyagaya. Once the drama is over and he gets down from the stage, everybody will compliment him saying, "Nagaya, you have played the role of Tyagaya very well." It is only Nagaya who is singing and acting. But while on the stage, he acts like Tyagaya. Likewise, everyone is playing a role in this drama of life. On the stage, their name and form are different, but their actual name is Atma. You should never forget this truth. Remembering this truth always, you may play any role in this drama of life. That is the way of leading an ideal life and deriving bliss therefrom. Some people complain, "I have offered everything to God. I have surrendered to Him. Then why am I put to so many difficulties? Why is God making me undergo so much suffering?" Students should clearly understand this. When your surrender is total, how can you have difficulties? How can you have the feeling that you are suffering? You will not have such thoughts at all. You will not consider anything as a difficulty and worry about it. If you are worried, it means only that you have not surrendered to God completely. One who has totally surrendered to the Lord will not care for any worries. God is in you, but when you lack the faith that God is in me, you will be surrounded by worries. 29th July 1996, Swami had delivered this discourse. So as you can see, Swami says, offer everything, surrender, total surrender. Nivedita Atma. Your Atma, complete self is surrendered. World, all problems are also surrendered. All your knowledge and skills are also surrendered to the Lord. And that is devotion. That's another quality of devotion, which is what the sutra talks about. Na chinta karya. Chintana karya. Worry is not the right thing to do. Even if the lokahana, even in the loss of the world. Nivedita atma loka vedatvat. So that's what this sutra says. So it explains the real quality of devotion, which is supreme divine love. Okay, we will continue with the next sutra. न तत्सिद्धौ लोकव्यवहारो हेयः किन्तु फलत्यागः सत्साधनं च न तत्सिद्धौ लोकव्यवहारो हेयः किन्तु फलत्यागः सत्साधनं च न तत्सिद्धौ लोकव्यवहारो हेयः किन्तु फलत्यागः तत्साधनं च. There are some places where people have added two more words, eva karyam. I have not included that because it's superfluous in my view. But if you've come across something like that, just realize that there are two versions without those two words. So this but it does not necessarily add additional meaning. Basically, I will explain the meaning at the end. If anyone is interested, you can use it. We'll look at pronunciation first. There are a few aspirated consonants in the sutra, so we'll take a look at them. Na tat siddhau. The last letter is the compound letter. Dhau. So there are two das. The third and the fourth dha of the varga, third class of consonants. So the first one is third letter in the varga. It is not aspirated. The. And the second one, the, is the fourth consonant. So udhau is the way it's pronounced. So we just pay attention to that. Loka vyavaharo heyaha kintu. There are no aspirated consonants. Pa. This is the second letter in the pa varga. Phalatyagaha. There are some people who pronounce it as fa. It's a foreign influence in my view. Some people say phalatyagaha. So the sound fa is foreign to Sanskrit, the way I understand. So phalatyagaha. Phalatyagaha. Then this word, next word is tat sadhanam. Sadha, that dha is also the fourth letter in the ta varga, so it has to be aspirated. Tat sadhanam cha. Okay, let's look at sandhi. There are one or two changes, so we'll do them. Na tatsiddhav, I have treated it as samasa or compound word. There are no sandhi related changes. I have put a hyphen to separate the distinct words. Lokavyavaharaha. The visarga at the end of this word, raha, her changes to u, and so it becomes ra plus u becomes ro. Okay, that's how you get vyavaharo. That's sandhi related change. Loka vyavaharo instead of loka vyavaharaha. The next word is heya, kintu, no change. Pala tyagaha, no change, but it's a compound word. So I've separated pala and tyagaha. The next word is also sandhi, but there are no changes. The two distinct words in that compound word are tat and sadhana. Okay, so we will look at the meaning of the words in this sutra. Na means not. Tat siddhau. Tat means that. So you can see it's the attainment of that devotion. Okay, attaining the devotion. Siddhi is attaining something. Attainment is siddhi. But siddhau is the seventh noun form or seventh vibhakti of that word. So which means on attaining that or in attaining that. So if one has attained devotion, one has acquired devotion, tat siddhau, on attaining that. Loka vyavaharaha. Loka means world. Vyavahara has multiple meanings. Vyavahara means you can say business, occupation, activity, all that can be said. I will just use it as transactions. In the world, we have these transactions. I give you that, you get that. So everything in this world is transactional. So loka vyavahara means a transaction in this world. Worldly transaction. Heyaha. The word heya means that is which is fit to be given up. You have to give up something. It sort of recommends. Like karya means fit to be done. Heya means fit to be given up. Okay. The na should be taken with heyaha. Na heyaha. Not fit to be given up. So what this is, the first part of the sutra says is, on attaining that is on attaining devotion, loka vyavaharaha na heya. The worldly transaction is not fit to be given up. That means you should not stop doing any work in this world. Worldly transaction should not be given up. Okay, just because you have become a devotee. Okay. Then Sutra goes on to say, Kintu, but phalatyaga. Phala means fruits. Fruit. Tyaga, give up. So what are the giving up the fruits? Fruits of which are the results. Fruits also means results. So loka vyavahara should not be given up. One attaining devotion, but the fruits of that should be, results of that should be given up. Given up is nothing but offering unto the Lord also. Okay. Nivedita only. Tyaga is nothing but Nivedana. So, Palatyaga. But give up the fruits. Sat sadhanam. Tat again, that. Sadhanam. Sadhanam is the sadhana also. It's any form of sadhana, any activity. It also means acquiring something. The means of acquiring something is sadhana. You can say an instrument also. So there are multiple meanings. I have not put all of them. So what it says is, by giving, once you attain, you should actually give up the fruits of loka vyavahara. But without giving up the loka vyavahara, worldly transaction. Okay, but that also allows you to attain devotion. By giving up the fruits is also a way of retaining devotion, also attaining devotion. So that's the sutra is very, very nice. In the sense, he's telling by giving up the fruits of actions, one will be able to acquire devotion. And on attaining devotion, still one will not give up activity, but will continue to give up the fruits of actions. So this is what Sutra says. So it clarifies to people what's the thinking of a devotee who has devotion, and the devotion is capable of giving all this. The devotion will help the person still be active and not pay attention to the fruits and offer everything to the Lord or give up the fruits. That is a sadhanam. That's the through which that's a sadhana for you to do. It also is the end. Even after that, you continue to do that. So that's what this sutra says. We will read the discourse again. I think I have two discourse excerpts in this. It may be a bit long, but I hope it's okay for you all. Just as the healthy glow of the body is hidden from sight by the clothes that cover it, so the individual soul, obscured by egotism, ahankara, is not able to reveal the splendor of the true knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Tattva, which is its treasured possession. For egotism is at the root of all evil, all defects, all deficiencies. It is born in desire, kama. Be free from egotism too. The state of desirelessness is likely the state of egolessness. And what is liberation, moksha, except liberation from bondage to the ego? You deserve liberation when you break away from the bond of desire. People engage themselves by and large in activities prompted only by the desire to benefit from the results. They withdraw from acts that bring no benefit. But the Gita condemns both attitudes. For whether consequences follow or not, one cannot escape the obligation to be active. People cannot completely give up activity. How then can they avoid being caught up in the mesh of consequences? The Gita teaches giving up all attachments to the fruit of action as the greatest spiritual discipline designed for this purpose. Sadhana. That's the greatest sadhana. Whether desired or discarded, hoped for or not, every act ends in some consequence, if not immediately, at least after some time. It is inevitable. The consequence may be good or evil. But if the act is dedicated to the Lord, neither will affect the doer. By that sacrament of dedication, the deed is transmuted into a higher order and made divine, holy, and sacred. On the other hand, acts performed under the inspiration of the ego will be fraught with bondage. Those who are sincerely seeking to realize God have to become free from the taint of desire in order to achieve Him. I will read this again. Those who are sincerely seeking to realize God have to become free from the taint of desire in order to achieve Him. Become devoid of mindness. Then you attain moksha, salvation. That is the achievement of the goal of life. That stage knows no joy or grief. It is above and beyond them both. Krishna willed that his friend and devotee Arjuna should reach that state. So he endeavored to save him by teaching him the ways and means through a variety of methods. Moreover, he used him as an instrument to receive this precious gift for the good of all humanity. Before concluding sacred council, Krishna addressed Arjuna and said, "Give up all dharmas and surrender to me. I shall liberate you from all sin." That is to say, give up pride in the ego, ahamkara, and in the possessions of and mindness, mamakara. Destroy the identification of the self with the body, which is only its cage or prison. Get firm in the belief that all this is the highest Atma, Paramatma, and nothing else. There is nothing else to be done except to bow to his will and surrender to his plan. One has to give up the twin activities of commission and omission, resolving sankalpa and doubting vikalpa. One has to follow the Lord's commands to accept his will and be happy wherever he has placed them, however he has shaped them. One should keep oneself far from the inquiry into the appropriateness or inappropriateness of their acts, but do them as acts of worship to the Lord, acts for which no reward is expected. This is the sum of duty. Some dry Vedantins, decked with strings of beads, take advantage of this teaching of Krishna to give up all duties, dharmas, and with this assurance that he will liberate them from all sin, idly stretch their legs and loll with their closed eyes. They shirk their legitimate duties and eat and sleep and roam about as much as they like or can. They do not discriminate between good and bad. Their excuse is that the Lord has commanded them to transcend dharma. When elders at home or experienced seekers question their conduct, they answer, "Alas, that you should blunder thus. Alas, that you too should blunder thus. Don't you know what the Lord has said in the Gita? I have accepted his command. Cast aside all duties, sarva dharman parityaja, as the basis of my conduct. I don't accept advice from people with lesser authority. They feel very proud of their devotion and orthodoxy. Such people select from the words of the Lord only the portions that favor their inclinations. The words before and after are conveniently ignored because they are unpleasant, although they are inseparable portions of the same injunction. They ignore the vital part of the command, in spite of the claim to be staunch votaries of the Gita. Give up all feelings of obligations and responsibilities. Surrender to me alone, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, says the Lord. Have they surrendered this? No. Have they at least the deep yearning for liberation? No. For if they had it, they would not have neglected their legitimate duties. They would not have fallen prey to the demands of food and sleep. Such people are glorious only in gossip. They are great only in glittering. They do not put the Lord's command into actual practice. They are too idle to do so. Not even an atom of spiritual endeavor can be seen in them. True aspirants can discern valuable truths in the divine words spoken by the Lord. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Abandon all dharmas. Surrender to me alone. I shall free you from all sins. Do not fear. Not that the Lord said, abandon all dharmas. Sarva dharman parityaj. Not abandon all actions. Sarva karman parityaj. What then is the meaning of the statement? It means perform all acts enjoined by the Lord for His glorification, without getting involved and lost in the discussions of dharma and non-adharma. Although you know that there is nothing for you to acquire, for you have placed complete trust in the Lord and live only as an offering to the Lord. Still, like Janaka and others, you have to engage in activity for the well-being of the world. The soul immanent in every being is not distinct from the Atma or soul that is in you. So be eager to promote the well-being of all beings. Perform all acts enjoined by the scriptures for this sake, in the spirit of dedication, with no eye on the fruits thereof. This is true renunciation of the fruit of action, nishkama karma. Understand the Gita well, and observing its injunctions, establish yourself in the attitude of renunciation of the fruit of action. Do all duties as acts of worship, offerings to God. That is the sole task. Leave the rest to Him. The fruit, the consequence, the result. Then you receive the grace of Hari and your life on earth is sanctified and becomes worthwhile. This is from Gita Vahini, chapter 27. So that sort of nicely explains. I could have brought a few more excerpts, but I think this amply explains this sutra very well, which basically says, na heyaha, not fit to be given up. Just to go back, na heyaha, loka vyavahara. The worldly activities are not to be given up when you attain devotion. Palatyaga, but kintu palatyaga, but giving up the fruits. So when one attains devotion, one gives up fruits. But giving up fruits is also sadhana. That's also sadhana which gives you devotion. So that's what the sutra says. With that, I think I have completed whatever I prepared to present. It's 8:55. If there's any question and I have an answer, I can share. I'll stop. Sairam Kalyani.
Sarah, Uncle.
Yeah.
In the last excerpt, I think maybe probably discussed it before, but could you explain again the line where it says one should keep oneself far from the inquiry into the appropriateness or inappropriateness of their act?
Okay, see, I think you are referring to this one, perform all acts enjoined by the Lord for His glorification, without getting involved and lost in the discussions of dharma and adharma.
And I think even a few slides before, there's another.
Okay, so let's see.
One more slide before that. Yes, this one.
Um,
One should keep.
one should keep oneself far from the inquiry into the inappropriateness of their acts, but do them as acts of worship to the Lord. So I think your question is, should they not discriminate?
Mm.
Okay. Um, what are these actions? And I think, because I think the translation is not the best in every case, because in Telugu, what Swami says is a little more, there are nuances which does not come through when you translate. But that's why Swami has told in multiple places. So, but this is this same thing, which is Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Swami is giving three different explanations at three different spots. One is inquiry into the appropriateness, inappropriateness of the action, which is the same thing. Later on, if you say, give up all feelings of obligations and responsibilities, which is what it is, What you have to give up is Sarvadharma Parityaja means the feeling of obligation and responsibility, give up that. Okay. Then what you have to do, he says, whatever the Lord has told you to, perform all acts enjoined by the Lord. That means we should only engage in activities which are given by the Lord, nothing else. And those activities don't analyze the dharma, adharma. If the Lord has told, just do it. Because we are incapable of evaluating what is dharma, adharma at that point in time, because the Lord has given you what is beneficial already. If we try to inquire into that, it is going to be a problem, because we will never not be able to understand what the Lord has said. But when you see, until the Lord comes into the picture, you can analyze and do. But when the Lord has come and told you once something, offer everything to the Lord and then do it. But you do only what the Lord has said, not what you want to do. I think that's where it is. Sarva Dharman Parityaja means you first give up everything. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. You take surrender to me means you listen to me, whatever I say, and I say, then it's fine. Because there are two ways to go about in this world. We can analyze what we think is right and wrong and do, but we will fail. Okay. The alternative is Mahamekam Sharanam Vraja. That means you take refuge in me. When you take refuge in me, you will do what I say. So one should not give up activity and not take refuge in the Lord. Only a person who takes refuge in the Lord should give up the dharma, this analysis. So when you take refuge or surrender to the Lord, which means whatever the Lord says, I just do. If I had to be fixed, he will fix me. No problem. So once you take surrender to the Lord and listen to what he says and do what he says, he will take care of everything. Even if you make mistakes. That's why Sarva Papipya, there's a possibility that you misunderstand what I say and do, but there will be papam, sin. I will take care of that. How does he take care of that? He will fix us. He will correct us. So I think that's my understanding. So which Swami says, the analysis of actions instructed by the Lord, that should not be analyzed. See, if I will just give you one example. Swami says, if I ask my birthday gift, give up eating, drinking, smoking. He has given the instruction. Okay. It's very simple to adhere to. But then we will say, is there any reason why I can eat? All these thoughts will come, you see. A devotee will not even analyze. Lord has said, I will just do it. Because he has taken sole refuge and he has surrendered his own discrimination to the Lord. Okay, and if some mistake goes, it's okay, the Lord will take care of. What will happen? I may fall sick, I may have some suffering, maybe. But that also you offer. No, there's no worry about that. So the Sarva Dharman Parityaja is only applicable to a devotee who has taken refuge. I think that we should be very, very clear. And what taking refuge in the Lord means, doing what the Lord has asked without analyzing it. That is devotion and total surrender, is my understanding. I hope I answered your question.
Yes,
I will not
thank you.
confuse it. Yes, yes, Sister Aruna.
Pranam, there's one thing in the poem, Swami's the last one is happiness too is a mysterious worry. What is that is referred by, please?
So when, see, sometimes we think something we have achieved and everything is, even happiness is worry. That's what it means. For example, if someone has something, okay, one possesses something and one is very happy. But sometimes we start getting worried, this happiness may not last. Okay. We have something in life, or we have someone in our life, and we're happy that this person is in my life. But one worry, suddenly that person is sick, then we are worried right away. Why that worry came? Because of the happiness which you derive from having that person. So happiness itself is a chance for getting worried because it's not lasting. Which a temporary happiness is always gives people worry. A lot of people have a lot of money and they're very happy that they're rich. But they're always worried somebody is going to come and steal. What are they going to steal? My happiness. Money, if they steal, my happiness is going to be robbed. So every happiness also has a worry around it. Okay, so I think Swami has explained this in other places.
Brother, we were discussing that Kalyani's question, abandon all dharmas. That is something is like if you have no body conscious only, you can do it, right? Is that is right?
Yeah, you should not have any thought of your body, your possessions, your world, your knowledge. Nothing should affect.
Yes.
Only then that is total surrender.
So give up dharma, I'll take away your sin main. Or you can give up, you have to earn your dharma until you give up your body conscious, then
No, 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 no.
otherwise how to like
See,
once you
if you don't give up your body consciousness, what are you going to do? See, activities you have to do, whatever is enjoined.
yes,
Okay, not what you like. See, the problem is we sometimes think our dharma is whatever I like is my dharma. People will say, I want to earn more and more money, that is dharma. Because I am going to give for my family. Full of I-ness and minus.
yes, yeah,
Okay. Until we give that up, there is no devotion.
that's body consciousness, yeah.
No, leave the body consciousness. Even
Yeah.
if you first, before you cannot give up body consciousness until you give up that I-ness and minus.
Okay.
See, as long as we are holding on to things, we will never give up body consciousness. Okay. First, we have to give up that. So, but many people hold on to things and think that is duty. That is dharma. They will say, my mother, dharma as a mother, sometimes even at the age of 90, the people say, I have my duty as mother. No, it is attachment. So the thing is, attachment should go. I think that's also Swami, again, if you read the Swami will say, as long as that mindness is there,
Yes.
one cannot have devotion.
Yes.
Okay, one cannot cultivate devotion. I think that's what Swami said. Okay,
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Just an example, Swami always used to quote Harichandra, about his sacrifices.
Yes. Thank you very much. Welcome. See, Swami says, become devoid of mindness. Then you can attain moksha. So, and see, those who are sincerely seeking to realize God have to become free from the taint of desire in order to achieve Him. So the thing is, we will say, until, my taint of desire goes, I will do my dharma. Both will not go away. We are not ready to surrender. The day we surrender, the better. Just that's why I said, don't even think of body consciousness. Just surrender with body consciousness. And then the body consciousness will go. That is moksha. Is my understanding. So I think we discussed this already as part of Gita Vayana study circle. But
Gita Vayana,
memory becomes
Dharma. We will give
you
up the
can,
Dharma.
yes. Okay, Sai. We'll close the session with closing prayers. Sai. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.